Welcome back to Von Blues Boxing. What's going on with everybody, man? So I haven't did an episode in a while of this. It's been a while since I started this little series that I was doing that I got from a partner of mine's, True Boxing. Shout out and salute to True Boxing. He's the one who came up with this idea. He created this thing called What's Next, and he gives you three realistic options of who he thinks is three realistic options for a fighter after they win a fight or they lose a fight. He gives you three realistic options. So he gave me the blessings to do it. I hollered at my man, made sure he gave, it was cool. It wasn't like, I basically bit off of him, but he was like, yeah, man, it's cool, go ahead and do your thing. So this is episode 6, next move. This is mine. This episode is about Yordenis Ugas, the WBA champion who just came off the win of his career against Manny, the living legend, Manny Pacquiao, won a unanimous decision. I did pick Manny Pacquiao in my predictions to win 8-4 or 7-5, but Yordenis Ugas ended up winning 7-5, 8-4 on the cards. So, and I did say in the fight, if Yordenis Ugas starts off fast, he'll have an opportunity to win this if he can get some of those early rounds. And I mean, I was never under illusion that Ugas could not beat Manny Pacquiao. I just thought Manny Pacquiao still had enough in the tank to pull it up from Ugas, but I was wrong. And salute to Yordenis Ugas. I don't give Ugas his props. Yes, Manny Pacquiao is 42, but at the same time, if Manny Pacquiao would have beat Yordenis Ugas, y'all would be giving him a ton of credit. So give Ugas his credit for getting that win. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do. The judges got it correct. Boxing did right that night, and he is the real champion now. So you can cut all the email talk and all that. He wasn't even an email champion then. It wasn't his fault that Manny Pacquiao had been inactive for 2 years. But I'm gonna move on from that. So I'm gonna give you his next realistic 3 moves. I'm gonna start with the third one. The third one, I thought long and hard about this. Manny Pacquiao in a rematch. Now, reason why I say that is if Manny Pacquiao wants to give it one more try, of course he's going to fight Yordenis Ugas. He just lost his title to Yordenis Ugas, so why not? It's a marketable fight. It's money. It's a rematch. Manny Pacquiao tends to, if a fight is close, he tends to do the rematches. We've seen it with Marquez. We've seen it with Morales. We've seen it with Barrera. We've seen Manny do this. Our only fight we haven't seen is with him and Floyd Mayweather in a rematch. So, especially when the fights are close. So I could see it happen. If Manny still has that itch and that desire, he could this time around he would have a full training camp to train for Yordenis Ugas, and maybe that might benefit him more. He could use that narrative. He can run with that narrative and say, "Oh, I didn't have a full training camp. It was a different fighter, different stands, things of that nature." And they can market it and make some money. I don't think Al Heyman would have a problem. Al Heyman want to get paid, and Manny Pacquiao brings money and he puts butts in the seats and he sells pay-per-views, regardless. So I could see that being the third possible option, but it is to be seen. Now, the second option that I see that people, might not see, Yordenis Ugas could wait it out into Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight, if that fight comes off, because it's going to purse bid, which I think it will come off. I think that fight will happen. If it goes to purse bid and Al Heyman wins that purse bid, he can put Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter fight on PBC. Might it be pay-per-view or might it be like on Fox? He can have that fight a lot, and especially if Sean Porter wins, then he has another option, because Sean Porter and Ugas was very, very close. They gave the fight to Yordenis Ugas. There were people who felt like Yordenis Ugas won that fight. So Ugas and Sean Porter for the WBO title and the WBA title, that's another unification bout right there. And then Al Heyman would have control, and PBC would have control of all 4 titles in that weight class. And all boxing promotions want that. All boxing promotions want to run a weight class. It is not just the PBC. It's all of them. All of them want to do it. All of them want to do that. So that could be a possibility, or it could go the other way. Terrence Crawford gets the win. He showed Al Heyman and the PBC and the executives over there in Fox and Showtime show Terrence Crawford like, hey, the grass is greener on this other side. We know your deal comes up in October with Bob Arum and Top Rank. They pay that man good enough. They should treat Terrence Crawford right. It might make Terrence Crawford want to sign with the PBC. Makes logical sense to me. All the top welterweights is over there and all the belts is over there. So that's another possibility. But let's see how that plays out if that fight even happens. Now, the number one option I think it is Earl, the Truth, Spence. Yordenis Ugas and Earl Spence was going to fight if that Manny Pacquiao fight didn't come off. And Manny Pacquiao, if Conor McGregor would have won, he probably would have fought him. Then Mikey Garcia was an option. So, and then Ugas and Earl Spence was going to be a fight. They was going to make that a unification bout. That was going to be the fight before the Manny Pacquiao fight. But once Manny Pacquiao options kind of, you know, McGregor lost, so that lost some steam. And then Mikey Garcia, Manny was kind of like, eh. And then, so that's the number one option, I think. I think Earl Spence and Yordenis Ugas is the number one option because Ugas wants to fight Earl Spence. They were going to fight. I just think it makes sense. It's for 3 belts. Ugas is red hot right now. He just came off the biggest win of his career. He's a true champion. No one can sit there and talk and deny that anymore. He's a true WBA champion. So that fight makes perfect sense. It's 2 good, very good opponents, 2 guys in their prime. Both guys are riding high. Ugas is a known name now. Earl Spence has been known. It just makes the most logical sense right now, especially with if Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford fight in October, like fight in November, you know, it makes sense because after that, you know, they're going to have some time off, Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. So it makes the most logical sense. I think that's his number one option, and I think that's the next fight for Yordenis Ugas. I think he's going to wait around and wait until Earl Spence gets healthy, and we're going to have a 3-belt unification bout with Earl the True Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. It will happen, and I think that's the best option for him. But just wanted to give you guys who I think Yordenis Ugas will be fighting, and I think is his next move. But y'all be good, y'all be safe. Von Blues Boxing. I'm out.